Right, hey guys, I'm going to pause it there. Um, I'm going to tell you about this story. It's one of the most disgusting stories I think I've ever heard in my life. I mean, we've got a ton of stories out there, like the Epstein. I even think this is even worse than the Epstein stuff. I truly do. When you hear this story, if it doesn't turn you in, I don't know. If it doesn't make you seething with rage, I don't know. You don't have a heart. So there's a female in Spain, and oh, just to go back to her picture. Right, let's see her again. And her name's Noela Castillo Ramos, and so oh god, I don't even know where to start with this. It's so disgusting. So when she was younger, there's actually a video out there. I don't know if they'll show it in this. Of the Spanish police. So the Spanish government are the government are despicable. What they've done to this nation is despicable. But the Spanish government, for a bloody Catholic country, is an extra layer of evil. They've literally imported 500,000 migrants. They've changed it, like our country's ruined as well. I'm not even going to lie to you about that. We can hopefully change it, I guess, but Spanish is lost. Spain is lost. I used to love Spain as well. I used to love going there on holiday and stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't even step foot in that place anymore. So it's ruined. Imported 500,000 third world migrants. So you know what's going to happen. You know, like death's going to go up, but especially sexual assault's going to go up. So what happened with this girl? She, as when she was a teenager, a young teenager, I'm going to say, um, the police broke into her parents, her mum and grandma's house. There's video out there, and I'm hoping they show it on here. And you see them literally booting the door down, and her mum and gran run into the bedroom, trying to protect this little 13, 14-year-old. And the police literally slam the gran and mum down on the ground and drag this screaming teenager out. They put her into they put her into some kind of children's home. But it's not a children's home just for like Spanish people. They're putting migrants in there as well. Migrants. Asylum seekers. So while she's in there, and I just want to preface this as well. We've had it in our country. Asylum seekers lie. They lie about their age. They say they're a lot younger. We've had asylum seekers at high schools, and they're really in their 20s, late 20s, early 20s. We've sent people to school with full beards. It's ridiculous. So she's put into this place, this state home kind of place, but they've got migrants in here as well. While she's in there, so obviously doesn't seem to be any safeguarding, I guess. While she's in there, she is brutally raped by three asylum seekers. Do you know what the Spanish government did? Nothing. They didn't arrest these, and it's got on the stories. It's got men. 3 men raped her. I'm not sorry. I'm not laughing about it. I just can't believe this. And it's on the story. It's got men. So they've got to be in their late 20. I don't care. It doesn't matter. So these do this to her. The Spanish government do nothing. Why? Because they say they're minors, minors, and they shouldn't be charged, and and their identity can't be put out there. So this little teenager runs away, and they catch her and take her back, and it happens again, and they do nothing. So she's obviously messed up in the head, which I can totally, like, anybody that's ever went through that can totally sympathise. And as a child, like, oh my god. And she tries to end her life and jumps off a seven-story building. It doesn't kill her though, and she ends up losing. She can't walk after that. She ends up losing her walking ability. But still, the Spanish government doing nothing about these. I mean, look, it's happened twice. The same bloody people, and they keep so they do nothing. Then they put her into some kind of hospital for people with mental health issues, which understandable. Like, you can do that in Britain, but like this girl was locked in there, and her family aren't able to visit her. They're not able to visit her, and you know what happened? Like, I can't even get over this. I can't get over this. So she's struggling. She's struggling with this mentally, as you can well imagine. She's never seen any justice for this. They don't care. This Spanish girl's never seen any justice at all from monsters from another bloody country. Like, to come to your land and rape you, and nothing happened to them. It just reminds me of the UK, to be honest. And I mean, you'll maybe get a year's prison for doing that to somebody here. It's disgraceful. Or no prison time whatsoever. And what happens is they offer to euthanize her. And at this point, she's been in hospital for a few years. She's 24, 25 at this point, and they're offering to euthanize her. Her family can't get in to see her to talk her out of this. It's bloody doctored, and the doctors have got an incentive, and I'm going to tell you what it is. She's an organ donor. They're going to want her to, as an incentive for her to talk her into ending her life. Because she's a young 20-year-old with healthy organs, and worth $500,000. She's a stain on the state. We can get $500,000. Gosh, you know, like, instead of having to, it's just unbelievable. So, at 26 years old, she's euthanized. She died a few days ago. They put a 26-year-old healthy girl to death. Her family couldn't get in to see her. Her friend was outside the hospital crying because they wouldn't even let her best friend in to see her, to say goodbye. They wouldn't let anyone in to try and say to her, like, you're loved, like, don't do this, like, we love you, please don't do this. Where's the psychiatrist or any kind of psychological help for this girl? Instead, they talked her into euthanizing herself. And that's so, they've done that in Britain, where they passed a law where you can have a euthanization death or whatever. And as soon as they done that, I took myself right off the organ donors list, because I'm in hospital a lot, and I don't want to go into hospital and hospitals are all about they are in Europe and UK, I'm sorry, but they're all about making money because they're tax funded, so they've got to make incentive to make money. And an incentive to make more money is talking people into euthanizing themselves if they're on the organ donors list. So if you're on the organ donors list and your country does euthanization, get your ass off that list now, because it's an incentive to I'm sorry, but it is. It just proved that what happened in Spain to this girl, it's an incentive to end your life for £500,000. Why did she have to die though? Why couldn't they arrest these evil scumbags? I want to swear so badly, but I'm not gonna. It's just it's angering. Why didn't they arrest these guys? And I mean, it's twice they done it. Twice she ran away. They brought her back to the same place after she told them they did it, and it happened again. I don't know what to say, so I'm going to play the video so they might show you a bit more context. I'll have to pause it because it's not my content. Let's skip it into it a little bit. Skip. Oh my god, sorry. Right, so this is Times Entertainment.
A 25-year-old woman in Barcelona, identified as Noelia Castillo Ramos, has died after legally...
Oh my god, she's not even 26. I thought she was 26. She's 25.
...undergoing euthanasia,
crap,
years after surviving a brutal assault that permanently changed her life. Just days before her death, Noelia spoke in an interview and shared a brief final message. She said, quote, "Leave in peace." Those 3 words came after years of physical pain, psychological trauma, and legal battles surrounding her right to make the decision herself.
Oh my gosh. This isn't even... Is this woman trying to say that this is a young girl who's been brutally raped, and so she's in the right frame of mind to make the decision to euthanize herself. They offered it and she's in the right frame. Shut up, you stupid bitch. Sorry, I'm sorry, but shut up. She should not be being euthanized at 25 years old. It's disgraceful.
Noelia had received approval from both the European Court of Human Rights and Constitutional Court of...
The European Court of Human Rights, there it is, the ECHR. We need to get the hell out of that right now. This is the same bloody court that allows our country to be overrun. This is the same court that allows rapists and murderers to stay in our country. Why? Because one of their kids doesn't like the chicken nuggets in other countries. Why? Because the guy who raped his daughter is entitled to family life. You're entitled to no family life if you do that to your kids. Nothing. You're entitled to be castrated. In fact, why couldn't the 3 little monsters that did that to this beautiful girl, why couldn't they be euthanized? If her organs were worth $500,000, there you are. There's 1.5 million. 1.5 million. There you go. 3 sets of organs.
Clearing the way for the procedure despite repeated efforts by her family to stop it.
Yeah, her family went to court and tried to stop this. They wouldn't let her family see her. They wouldn't let her family see her and talk her bloody, and talk to her and let her know, please don't do this, we love you and stuff. So...
Her parents had spent years trying to intervene, hoping she would reconsider what they believed was an irreversible choice. But by yesterday evening, that legal process had ended. According to reports...
I'm sorry, but this person telling this story here is just so oh, but that legal process had ended. And according to reports, Noelle died. She's 25 years stupid. Oh, God. It's making me so angry, this story.
Noelia died after receiving 3 injections at a hospital near Barcelona. In 2022, while living...
3 injections. 3 injections. So she basically is put to death like someone getting a lethal injection on death row.
working in a state-supervised center for vulnerable young people, Noelia
Right,
was
so she's in a state supervised centre by the age of 22 by vulnerable young folk, because she's been in a home. She's not going to trust anybody, this young girl. Like, she's not going to trust 22 years old. What are you doing? At 22 years old, I didn't know my ass from my elbow. I didn't know, like, you're 25 years old. I was still making mega mistakes. Still making mega mistakes in my life. I didn't know. I still make mistakes till this day. But 25. They shouldn't have been trying to encourage this. If anything, they should have been trying. The European Court of Human Rights should have been trying to stop this. Stop this. This is what we need to get away. Honestly, guys, get your names off the donor list if you're on it. All it is a car accident, and they're like, "Ooh, this person's on the donor list. Should we pay all this money to keep them in ICU for a few weeks and hope they come out of it, or should we just, well, let's just switch it off and harvest their organs? You know, that'll cost a lot less money." Absolutely not. Get your asses off that donor list. If your government does euthanasia, get it off. I don't even know why any government does this. It should, in my personal opinion, this kind of it's not even a treatment. Like, it goes against everything I believe in. I'm sorry. It's like a form of it's assisted suicide, isn't it? But the only people that should be even remotely offered this is people at the latter stage of their life with terminal cancer, and it's too much. They're in so much pain. But a 25-year-old girl, no, she should never have been. This should never have happened.
sexually assaulted by multiple men. That is
Sexually assaulted, but like, oh my god. No, please, just say the truth. I'm so sick of, like, things being true. She was brutally raped by multiple men while a teenager in state housing. She'd been ripped away from her mothers and put into the state housing place where they've got migrant men. And the men aren't arrested, and they try and say, like, oh, we can't name them because they're in the centre, they might be youths and we don't know, and yeah, they're only like, they don't know any better, they don't know our culture, they don't know that rape's wrong. It's unbelievable. Do you know, even people have used that argument in the UK? We've had migrants come here, and mainly like asylum seekers, to be honest, and rape young girls, and their excuse at court, I didn't know it was wrong. It's not wrong in my country. You're not in your country anymore, wanker. If you want to live in a Sharia shithole, sorry, but go back to your Sharia shithole. Even this kind of talk could get you arrested. You can't speak about this anymore. It's unbelievable. But I've seen it used. We've seen the argument used. We didn't know rape's wrong. Like, how can you allow people into your country, a civilized country that's meant to be a high trust society, and letting these people in that don't even think that raping girls and kids, and that's wrong. They'll use the context of religion and stuff like that, passages from their book, to say, well, we're allowed to do this because it said that in a passage here.
Attack, according to reports, left her deeply traumatized.
You think?
Already struggling with serious mental health challenges, she later attempted to end her life by jumping from a fifth-floor window. She survived, but suffered a severe spinal cord injury that left her paralyzed from the waist down.
Yeah.
From that point on, the Express reports she lived with constant physical pain and severe disability. At the same time, her mental health continued to deteriorate. She was said to be dealing with depression, obsessive-compulsive disorder, and borderline personality disorder, all while coping with the lasting impact of...
Oh yeah, I bet she had all of that stuff. I bet she had it all. I bet. Do you think though? But yeah, as they whisper in her ear, "You've got all this stuff wrong with you, so let's euthanize you." So unreal.
the assault. Physical pain and emotional suffering became part of daily life.
Yeah, it's no reason to euthanize her.
As news of Noelia's decision spread, one of her oldest friends rushed to the hospital, hoping for one final conversation. Carla Rodriguez arrived about an hour before the procedure, determined to see her friend and persuade her to change her mind. But according to reports,
They're not going to let her friend in there to change her mind. There was absolutely no way they were going to let her friend in there to ask if she'll change her mind. Why? Because I've already said it. Our organs are worth way too much money, and they're going to get more out of harvesting her organs than they are keeping her in this mental facility, than offering her proper psychiatric treatment and giving her therapy and maybe arresting these little monsters. Maybe don't legalise 500,000 new monsters into your country. Maybe don't do that. And the ones that did it, these men that did it, maybe try arresting them. I don't know. And like I said, if you want organs, kill them. I'm sorry, but anybody that touches a kid, yeah, they take their organs. They're worth a lot more. Unbelievable. State-sponsored suicide, that's what this is. State-sponsored murder. That's what this was. State-sponsored murder.
security stopped her at the entrance. Video now circulating online shows Carla outside the hospital, visibly distressed, crying as officers refused to let her enter. She later told reporters, quote, "I wanted to try to convince her to change her mind."
Like I said, it's obvious. I mean, what would have been the harm in doctors allowing someone's best friend in? I mean, she's 25. The best case scenario for this girl is like getting her family and friends in to talk to her, try and talk to her and tell her she's loved and wanted, and they're going to help her and stuff. Instead, putting officers outside and not allowing anybody in. So she doesn't know that her friends and that are out there to say that they love her so much and do not do this. Do not let them do this. There's only one reason why they do this. And it's not because they cared about this girl. It's because they care more about her bloody harvesting her organs. The Spanish government are monsters. Honestly. Like, I used to think like Iran was super duper evil, and Iran is super duper evil, but that's an Islamic terrorist country, not the people. I love the Persian people. I'm talking about the government and the IRGC. But Spain is meant to be a Catholic Christian country. Now, I'm not Catholic. I'm an evangelist, but for a Catholic, you're not meant to. Suicide's not meant to be part of the deal and package. To be a Christian, suicide is off the table. You go straight to hell, especially Catholicism. So why the hell are they doing? You evil monsters! They should be taken out, and they're members of this ECHR, Human Rights Court. We need to get that blood hell out of that. Get the hell out of that.
Carla said she had learned about Noelia's final decision through news reports and immediately came to the hospital, hoping she could still reach her.
She also loves her
She
friend.
also said, quote, Noelia has been through so much,
Yeah.
so very much.
And even if it was like a friend got in there and didn't change her, like she couldn't change anything. At least let her friend sit with her and not let her be alone. Let her hold her hand. Let her know that someone is there and someone loves her, and she's not going to be alone as she passes away, as she's lethally injected. You know, state-sponsored murdered. Is a little bit even compassion too much. They could not afford to let her friend or family in though to talk her out of this. You evil pieces of shit. Honestly, if you go on holiday to Spain and stuff, boycott the place. Boycott it. I love the Spanish people. They're they're super great, the Spanish people. And what's happening to their country is so disgusting, so disgraceful. What's happened to all our countries is disgraceful. It's so disgraceful. You can't say anything about it though, because they'll put you in prison. You know, the state they try to scare you, put you in prison. You lose your job. You do this, that, and another. And bringing stupid blasphemy laws. So you can't, because we all know, we see it, and America's fighting back as well at this point. We're all seeing it happening in our countries. We're all seeing it, and people are starting to get worried now. People are starting to get worried. Are we thinking is they're too much over the threshold now? Are we going to see our country turn into an Islamic state? I've got nothing against anybody that's Muslim or nothing against it. A lot of Muslims have integrated and done so great in this country, but there's a high percentage of them this is their faith though, you know, they want Sharia, and they don't believe in man-made laws, and they see people that aren't part of them as the disbelievers, and when you read this passage in our books, it's like they should be killed, and we should be made second-class, third-class citizens, and it's bloody scary. I don't understand why the Spanish government took the side of asylum migrants, asylum seekers, or whatever they are, economic migrants in my opinion, over a Spanish girl from Spain, that country. That's her land, her country, her ancestors built. They took the side of foreigners. I know that sounds harsh, and see in Scotland we've got so many great integrated people that have come from the greatest places are Japan. They are so respectful, the Japanese, but we've got Japanese people, I say they're Japanese Brits, because Scots to me, I was talking to someone about this, Scottish, English, Welsh and Irish, to me that's an ethnic group. It's an ethnicity, same as Japanese an ethnicity, African's an ethnicity, but you've also got different tribes. If you're from China, you're that's the Han ethnicity. You've got Asian ethnicity. You've got a ton. You know, it's just different. You're entitled to have your own. It's not being racist to say that that's my ethnicity, that's my ethnic group, and I'm proud of their history and stuff like that. That's not but we're now taught in Parliament the other day that we had Queer Stalin say that the Conservative group, who's run by a black woman, Kemi Badenoch, I think she's Nigerian heritage, and I quite like her, to be honest, and they tried to say that they're racist because they said that they had someone, the Labour Party had someone of Pakistan that was born in Pakistan but is now back, lives in a British citizen now, lives in Britain, and they're now, they were like, no, they're English, or I think it was like regarding Shabana Mahmood, to be honest. She's either Pakistani or Bangladeshi, I'm not too sure, descent, and she should be proud of that, like, I know a lot of people have got a lot of problems with the Pakistanis. I don't know. Do you know something? I don't know what it is. Like, I know I'm going off on tangents here, but I've heard people from India go on and on how much they've got problems with the Pakistanis. I've heard people from Britain go on and on how much they dislike the Pakistanis. I've heard people from Israel go on and on how much they hate the Pakistanis. I've heard people from, I spoke to people from, the United Arab Emirates, and I've seen people like from Dubai and people from Saudi Arabia say how much that they don't like the Pakistani people. I've seen people from Africa say how much they don't like. I don't know what it is like, why people don't like the Pakistani people so this much, but it must be a thing, I guess. But one person's called her out and says she's not English, which, and here Stalin went mental, like, oh, yes, she's English, you know, that stupid voice he does. Of course she's English. That is so racist how you get to say that. No, she's not English, queer. She's of Bangladeshi or Pakistani heritage and a British citizen. Unfortunately, you're English, you know? But yeah, she's not English. Just because you're born in England doesn't make you English. Just if I was born in China, would it make me Chinese? Oh, it would make me of Scottish ethnicity, of Chinese, from with Chinese citizenship, but I don't even know if you, yeah, I guess. Oh, let's go back to this horrendous story. I had to take a little U-turn there because the story has just angered me so much.
They had known each other since childhood and attended school together before losing contact after Noelia was moved to another care facility. Unable to see her in person.
So all she's been in is in care facility after care facility after care facility. Banned for her family's banned from seeing her. She's dragged away from her family. I mean, a teenager. She's going to trust no one. And then while in these stupid facilities that she's gang raped. I don't even know if I want to even like look at any more of this video because like at the beginning I told you basically just of it. And I don't like the way how the way that this video is speaking about this, because anybody should be fuming with this story, fuming. This could turn people into radicals, I guess, I don't know. This is the Spanish socialist bloody government. I will never buy until Spanish goes back to, Spanish should be for the Spanish, until Spain goes back to its roots. And I loved Spain. As I said, I've been there whole day. I went there as a child and everything. The Spanish people are super nice. They're so friendly. They just love sleeping and eating. That's what they do. They like their siesta and they like their food and stuff. And they're just so laid back and chill. You know, it's just a very chill back life if you live in Spain. But what's happened to that country is beyond a joke. And the fact, we were even told in our country that migrants at hotels, who there was one that had sexually assaulted a child again. Shock. I know, I'd be shocked at this point. No, they had more rights than British citizens. Someone from the government actually said that illegal migrants had more rights than British citizens, and British citizens include everybody who is of all ethnicities and religions who has a British citizenship. Nobody has any more rights than us. This is our land, like British land. I want to keep I want to keep Scottish culture and that. I don't want that to be lost. You know, in 50 years' time, like no more, no more kilts and ceilidhs and dancing and drinking and whiskey and haggis. Like, I like all that. I'm a Scot. Of course I like all that. I don't want that to change. I don't want that to change. I got into like so most of England, like it just it's so the demographic changes. It's too much. It's too much. They've changed everything way too fast. I mean, Britain has always enjoyed and loved bringing, and people have enjoyed and loved coming here. But with this, the amount of migration, legal and illegal at the moment, it's just too much. How can you expect people to integrate into a country when you're bringing them in 1 million at a time? When hundreds of thousands of illegals are coming here. And remember, like our country, like the entirety of the UK, it's just a little bit bigger than Florida in the United States. And they were overwhelmed with like 10 million migrants. We've been getting like 1 million every year. London has like 74, maybe higher, million people living in it. Like our nation's tiny. It's tiny, and you can drive the entirety from the top of Scotland to the very very bottom in a day. One day takes you days and days and days and days and days, probably weeks to drive across the United States. One day, I could drive from where I live to London in 8 hours. 8 hours. So the moral of this story is, it's horrendous, horrific, and evil. Get your asses off. If your country has euthanasia, if they pass anything to do with euthanasia, get your ass off the organ donor transplant list. Because just like this young girl, you could be worth more to your country, dead or alive. And the other part of this is, I guess, we're all going through this. All of us. All of us. It's happening in America. It's happening in Britain. It's happening in France. It's happening in Spain. It's happening in Portugal. It's happening everywhere. And I don't know why they're so hell-bent on destroying what all these beautiful countries have built. I don't understand. It's yeah, I don't understand. I'd be super duper happy with immigration from everywhere, and I think you guys are well aware of my feelings from one certain group. That's the ones I wouldn't. That's the ones I would be like, no, we need to take a pause on immigration from there, from those places. But I also think that in the UK we've not seen, because I look at countries that, for example, like are Islamic and stuff like that, like UAE, Dubai, Saudi, and I think to myself, like, why is their country not like ours? Why is their citizens like they didn't do that? Why is it like that we've got like these why is it like, I mean, they're not like this holy Islam, and why don't they like kill and rape and terrorize they don't do that there. Like the Saudi Arabia just said that they're banning their students from coming to UK because of fear of them being radicalized. I think it's because we've been introduced to a formula. This is my opinion, like, it's only an opinion, I'm not saying it's fact. But I think it's because we've been introduced to a form of, like, Islam from either from Pakistan, Bangladesh, Somalia, and Syria, and Afghanistan. And I think if we've been introduced to a lot with migrants here from Saudi and stuff like that, I think like the British people would feel very differently about it. Because in Saudi you don't see people walking about with just like with the outfit and just the eyes. You don't see that. It's all over Britain. Oh, I've seen kids with this garb on, the garbage bag and the eyes. Kids. And the reason they wear it is so they don't sexually attract males. Kids, why is a kid wearing that? I thought of doing a video, like, it was, yeah, I might do it later. It could get me into trouble, I don't know. It was so funny though. It's a funny video I thought, and I'll go back to my comedic ways rather than this stuff, you know, but you can't be funny in this. But, yeah, I think we'd feel a lot different if it was from, if we'd experienced it from there rather than where we've got it from. Because the actual Arabs, they don't, even they're like, the Arabs have even said, like, leaders and prime ministers and stuff, they've said that we don't, we've got more radicals than they've got. So it can't be. Like, I'm thinking, like, so it's got to be the interpretation in Islam that they follow, because the Arabs don't do this. I don't know. And I'm talking specifically the people from, because like all these countries they've been what's called Arabized. The Kuwaiti leader recently came out and says that, and it admitted about Arab colonization and all these countries being Arabized. But I'm talking about the actual Arab countries of the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Saudi. I get, like, you can see Qatar, but like I don't trust them as far as I could blow them. But then when you go a little further on, like places like Syria, Lebanon that have been Arabized, these weren't Arabs. They've never been Arabs. This is the Levant area, and it's never, yeah, it wasn't. They weren't Arabs. Iraq and stuff like that. They were never Arabs. They've been Arabized. Iran, not Arabs. They're Persians. And so maybe the pure form of Islam, I don't know, from actual the Arab countries where this religion was meant for. They don't get terror attack. They don't get it. They don't put up with this crap in their country. They don't do it. So why are we? I have no clue. But before our country is destroyed, I mean, when the home of Islam is saying the UK is way too radical and they're refusing to send their students here, we've got a bloody huge problem. Anyway, rest in peace to this poor, like, child, like, 25, gone, murdered, state-sponsored murder, harvested for her organs, and migrants, men, never seen any, she's seen any punishment, her never seen any justice, nothing. What do you guys think of this story? It's disgusting, isn't it? Well, I'm going to go now, and I'll speak to you later. Love you.